generous value proposition with each of you. We're going to start with just a real quick look at who SmartLab actually is. Now, SmartLab's a pioneering force in the world of market spread trading. SmartLab's core mission is to seamlessly integrate cutting-edge artificial intelligence technology with financial expertise to redefine how regular people like you and I can approach the market. SmartLab has a team comprised of AI specialists, financial analysts, and industry experts who possess a unique blend of skills that drive the innovation and provide the opportunity for this incredibly generous value proposition. Now we're going to take a quick peek at the value proposition and unpack it just a little so that we can understand this incredibly generous invitation. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a new startup industry or vertical. This is a very well-established, multi-billion-dollar space. It is recession-proof. It is pandemic-proof. It provides consistent monthly spread trade profits that are earned daily and deposited weekly into subscribers' earning wallets. And that's the same for every single subscriber. Now, the sports books that SmartLab is contracted with are also very well-established names in the industry on a global level, some of which process as much as $1 billion in revenue on a monthly basis. So, an incredibly well-established vertical and an incredibly well-established sports books to work with. Now, from a transactional point of view, folks, if you're here for the very first time, you are being invited to subscribe to software as a service. It's known as a SaaS product, and it is utilized to capitalize and maximize the potential in the market spread trading space. Now, from a technology point of view, every transaction must generate a minimum of 0.4% to upwards of 5% in spread trade profits, or the algorithm does not lock in the trade in the first place. So, from a technology point of view, all the heavy lifting is taken care of. From a subscriber point of view, ladies and gentlemen, it is effortless. You do not need to understand anything about market spread trading, anything about AI, anything about sports books, anything about the industry in general. All you need to understand is that you're being invited to software as a service, and then take a look at the different subscriptions that are available and decide which one you resonate, which one you're most comfortable with, if any. And if it's not for you, that's okay as well. So it is an incredibly generous value proposition, and it is available to everyone. The benefits are fully automatic, meaning the spread trade profits and associated quarterly bonuses happen automatically once the subscription is activated. SmartLab also utilizes the latest best-in-class online security to protect your personal information and ensure your privacy as you continue to participate from a subscriber's perspective. The good news is the software as a service provides consistent financial benefits, again, that are earned daily and deposited weekly into every subscriber's account. In addition to that incredibly generous value proposition, there's also some additional optional revenue streams that are available through what we call the relationship marketing component. And we're going to unpack that just a little bit here in a moment. But first of all, as we continue to look at this industry as a whole, the global sports market, according to Research and Markets, last year was predicting just under $507 billion. And in the next 4 years, a very healthy annual growth rate of 5.6% or more, projected to reach just under $630 billion in the next 4 years. From what I have seen in the last 13 months, I think that's a very conservative number. Now, as we continue to unpack SmartLab as a company, if you want to do your due diligence and you want to go out and research and learn about the company, SmartLab was not incorporated in North America. You won't find any information about it anywhere inside the United States. It was incorporated in Seychelles, founded in Techstrong, Malta, and the primary office is in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. And there are some specific strategic reasons for that. The strategic location enables SmartLab to harness cutting edge technology and expertise to redefine market spread trading and empower subscribers on a global basis. So, Seychelles and Vietnam were specifically picked because those areas are the most friendly to technology and crypto and have the greatest insulation against potential interference. So, if you want to do your due diligence, one of the best ways to learn more about SmartLab is to have the person that invited you give you access to what we call the link tree. The link tree is a Google Drive folder that has numerous videos and other information that you can properly vet out SmartLab. Now, the bot is known as SmartSP. It is utilized by subscribers to unleash the power of AI-driven precision, specifically in the realm of sports market spread trading. As subscribers, we get to seamlessly bridge the gap between cutting-edge technology and intelligent trading strategies. By subscribing to the bot, we are empowered to navigate the dynamic landscape of sports events with confidence and profitability. Why was the international football space the main primary target? Because there's literally 35 games a day that take place somewhere in the world 365 days a year. It is the most popular sport on planet Earth. So that's where SmartLab started, because it had the greatest base to draw from to create the greatest potential for individual subscribers. SmartLab also prides itself on transparency. Here is an example. They publish periodically daily analytics having to do with how effective the actual bot is performing. So this one was February 15th. There were 35 total matches. There were 364 different opportunities where the bot identified a trade. Now, let me explain how that works. Imagine a game, let's say Roma and Atlanta as an example. The bot goes out, it finds two different sports books that are carrying that same game, and there's enough discrepancy between the posted odds in Sportsbook A and Sportsbook B that the bot could simultaneously lock in a trade, meaning that it goes into Sportsbook A, leverages a position for Team A, goes into Sportsbook B, leverages a position for Team B at the exact same millisecond, which is 1/1000th of a second. And it only does this if, regardless of the outcome, there will be a positive win or a positive increase of 0.4% or more. So as we look at the analytics from February 15th, there were 364 times that the bot identified an opportunity where, regardless of the outcome, in those 35 games, there would be a positive increase. The net of that on the 15th of February was 3.52% spread trade profits, and that was shared across the entire subscription base. So let's take a look at the actual subscription. So you're being invited to subscribe to software as a service, and here's your options. SmartLab currently has 5 different subscription options available. We have what's called the standard subscription, which is $72.45, has a point value of $49.50, has a maximum cap of $23.5. So what happens is when you activate a subscription, That subscription generates spread trade profits and quarterly bonuses until it reaches a maximum cap. In the case of the standard 23,500. The premium 21,390 with a point value of 15,000 has a maximum cap of 70,000. The professional 61,870, 45,000 point value, a maximum cap of 270,000. The elite 196, 650, 150,000 point value, a maximum cap of 900,000. And the ultimate 417, 450, point value of 300,000, maximum cap of 2.7 million. Those are the current offerings in the regular subscription offering that SmartLab has currently available, aside from the promotion which I'm about to introduce. Now, how do subscribers benefit specifically from subscribing to software as a service? And the answer is this. SmartLab has dedicated 6 to 12% of the point value that is dispersed in spread trade profits on a monthly basis. So if you start with the standard 72.45, that generates 6% in monthly spread trade profits that are earned daily and deposited weekly, and it works out to 6% of the point value of that subscription. The premium is 9%, the professional is 10%, the elite's 11%, and the ultimate is 12%. So this is not complicated, folks. You can take your spread trade profit monthly percentage, and you basically take the point value, times it by the percentage, divide it by the number of days in a month, and that's how you calculate your spread trade profits. Those are automatic. In addition to that, there's also a quarterly bonus that's available to standard subscriptions and above, any and all that were paid for. This doesn't count free bonuses, but ones that were paid for. So, SmartLab has generously dedicated a minimum of 9% to be dispersed as a quarterly bonus to all standard, premium, professional, elite, and ultimate subscriptions. And it grows from one quarterly bonus pool to another. So SmartLab was started in August of 2023. So September of 2024 was beginning the next new fiscal year. So the October quarterly bonus started over at 9%. January's was a little higher. April's is predicted to be very, very generous. July will probably be even bigger than that. And then we'll start over in October again. So spread trade profits and quarterly bonuses are automatic benefits. In addition to all the automatic benefits, this is for those folks out there that have an interest in maximizing their potential. This is an optional, additional potential called the direct sponsorship differential bonus. So this is what SmartLab has generously offered to provide an incentive for folks to share this incredibly generous value proposition with others that they know, love, and trust. To boil it down into real simple terms, ladies and gentlemen, there's anywhere from 12 to 20% available that is dispersed as a direct sponsorship bonus. So for example, let's say you started with a standard 72.45. That would qualify you for a 12% direct sponsorship bonus that's dispersed the very next day, and that's 12% of the point value of any subscription you refer. If you start with the premium, you get 15%. The professional and elite both qualify for 18, and the ultimate qualifies for 20. That is up to 20% of the point value of any subscription referred, and that is into your earnings wallet the very next day. Very, very generous. Now, SmartLab has what's called a unilevel a unilevel plan that has been utilized to incentivize sales. What that means is you get this up to 20% of every new subscription that you personally invite to the system. Now, the next question is, let's say you invite Bob and Bob invites Sherry. Is there any way that you could benefit from what Sherry does? And the simple answer is yes, depending on how significant you engage. In other words, in a unilevel, you get up to 20% of whatever you personally refer, and any portion of the 20% that you're qualified for that the person you invited is not qualified for. So let's say you're at 18% and you invite Bob, and Bob comes in with the premium and he qualifies for 15%. Then he goes out and invites Sherry, and she does a standard at 12%. Bob would get 15% of the point value of that standard, and you would get the remaining 3 because you're at 18, he's at 15, and someone else would get the remaining 2. So 20% is always dispersed every time a new subscription is activated. Now we're going to shift gears real quick, and we're going to take a look at the technology internally. Oftentimes, folks ask the question about if you're new to the crypto space, what are the best wallets that are out there? How hard are they to activate, et cetera, et cetera? Well, all the heavy lifting's been done with that as well, because SmartLab, every single subscriber account comes with 2 wallets built in and a safety valve. There's the USDT wallet that is utilized to collect and hold inbound USDT Tether from exchanges and external wallets that could then be utilized in activating a new subscription. Every account also has an earnings wallet. The earnings wallet captures all potential from inside the ecosystem and holds it in the subscriber's earning wallet till they either withdraw it or leverage it in some other fashion. And there are multiple ways to do that. There's also what I call the safety valve, known as the Trust Vault. The purpose of the Trust Vault is, I would say, roughly 80% of the folks that look at this value proposition initially will say, I have no interest in sharing this with anyone else. I just want to leverage my own value and create some additional potential for my future. Then what happens is they see these incredibly generous subscriptions continually do exactly what they are supposed to do day in and day out. And then as a subscriber, we begin to realize, hey, why would I not share this with folks that I know, love, and trust? Why would I want to cheat anyone out of this incredibly generous value proposition? Well, the moment you do as a subscriber, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to shorten the time that it takes before you hit the maximum cap of your subscription, and you'll experience what I did, called the Trust Vault. If you hit your maximum cap, your subscription matures and expires. Any additional potential that you would have otherwise collected is now in jeopardy of being lost. But SmartLab has an incredibly awesome safety valve called the Trust Vault that steps in and it captures any potential that you would have otherwise lost, gives you an additional 72 hours to resubscribe, at which point your Trust Vault is opened up and those funds are released. And you need to resubscribe at a subscription at the equal to the one that you had that expired or higher, so equal or higher in value. Some additional information to understand: both the USDT and earning credits are transferable inside the system. For anyone wondering about how withdrawals work, everyone can submit withdrawal requests every single week. As soon as your earnings wallet balance is $10 or more in value, you can withdraw it. Withdrawal requests are processed every single week, Sunday, 23:59 Vietnam time, which, if you're in North America, to be on the safe side, especially now that we have daylight savings time back into effect, the best rule of thumb is, if you want to do a withdrawal, make sure you have your withdrawal request in by Friday evening. You will have it in your external wallet the following Thursday afternoon or evening. The withdrawal minimum amount is $10 or more, and you can withdraw in increments of $1 full. There is a withdrawal fee of $1 or 5% of the withdrawal amount, whichever is greater. It's fully disclosed at the moment of the withdrawal request. Now, what is SmartLab doing to protect the future and diversify? This is also important for subscribers to understand. There is a plethora of information, efforts, and resources that are put into diversifying the future to protect the value proposition for subscribers. As an example, SmartLab is adding additional sports. We started with the international football space last October in 2024. They added the NBA, which is basketball. They're beta testing a number of other sports, anticipating rolling out a brand new one in April at the Leadership London event. The reason for adding additional sports is it broadens the base and it brings in a whole new dynamic because each sport has its own fan base. They have their own seasons. They have their own ups and downs and highs and lows and playoffs and regular season and all the rest of it. And by expanding that base, it reduces reliance on any one single sport and allows for consistently higher profit generation throughout the year. In addition to the sports, they're also beta testing esports. Esports are what we know as video games. This is a massively popular, rapidly expanding space, specifically outside the United States. But there are many, many sports books that are already offering esports. So in 2024, in the US alone, it was predicted to reach 2.5 billion. And there's millions of fans worldwide. Many of the sports books that SmartLab already works with offer esports in their offering. Now we're going to transition into our latest promotion. And as I I want to preface the next few slides with this, folks. SmartLab is not changing the direction of their business. What SmartLab is doing is they're looking into the future 2 to 5 years from now and planning with that end in mind. And so they're introducing a new way for subscribers to benefit utilizing the same subscriptions that we're already utilizing. In other words, think of it like it's the same car, it's the same engine, we're just adding a higher octane fuel to significantly improve the value proposition for subscribers. And here's how that was introduced. SmartLab has released a token in the crypto space called NUT. And it is offering NUT exclusively to the SmartLab ecosystem, beginning with a pre-sale launch that took place 2 weeks ago. So initially through the pre-sale, many of you were watching and following this, and some of you participated in it. The NUT token pre-sale was launched on the crypto market from the 3rd of March through the 6th of March in 4 separate tranches. The first tranche was the 3rd of March, and each tranche was 1.125 million NUTs. The first tranche on the 3rd sold out at 80 cents. The second tranche on the 4th sold out at 85 cents. The third tranche on the 5th sold out at 90 cents. And the fourth tranche on the 6th sold out at 95 cents. Now, NUT is currently available in the open market on the Bitmart exchange for $2.19 a NUT. Okay? So in the pre-sale, as you can tell, if you purchased anywhere from 80 cents to 95 cents, that was a significant discount over what it is in the open market. Because of that reason, anyone who participated through the pre-sales in SmartLab has to hold their NUT for a year. So there's a vesting period. And the reason for that is because of the purchase at a significant discount. So the first thing we want to do is we want to congratulate all of those members who participated in the discounted pre-sale situation anywhere from 80 to 95 cents. For all the rest of us who did not participate in the pre-launch, how do we benefit? Well, pay close attention, folks, because it's about to get very exciting. How can we, as regular subscribers, obtain these nut tokens to be able to benefit today in the foundation that's being built for tomorrow's additional potential? And the simple answer is SmartLab is launching the nut token through subscriptions that are exclusively available to SmartLab members. So if you are a subscriber, you'll notice that when you log into your back office and you click the subscription tab, these nut subscriptions are already available. They launched on March the 15th. And so this is a way to answer that question. From March 15th, and this is a limited time window. I want to be very clear about this. From March 15th to April 14th, or the sale of 40 million nut, whichever comes first. There's a little over 8 million that have already been sold just from the Cancun event, which means there's roughly just a little over 30 million left. As soon as we sell out that remaining 30 plus million, the promotion's over. So if we sell out 30 million in the next week, the promotion will be over in the next week. It is either the 15th of March to the 14th of April or a total sale of 40 million nut, whichever comes first. So I wanted to be very clear on that. Now we're going to unpack the benefits. So as we look at the nut subscriptions, this is the new offering that you'll find in your back office available right now. The standard 7245 has the same point value, but there's an extra 1% on your spread trade profit. The 21390 premium, 15,000 point value, has an extra percent in the spread trade profit. The 61870 has an extra 2%. The 196 has some extra percent, and the 417 has an extra 6%. We're going to look at the side-by-side comparison here in just a moment. But terms and conditions do apply. Everybody who purchases a nut subscription, they will be receiving their spread trade profits and their quarterly bonuses in the nut token. And this gives them an opportunity to have an incredibly generous outcome. Now, let's say that you earn these nut in either the spread trade profits or the quarterly bonuses, and you decide that you want to withdraw them as nut and hold them to participate in the speculation side of the growth in the open market. If you want to withdraw nut, there's a 30% withdrawal fee. And I know that's going to cause a lot of people to take a really deep breath and say, why so high? It's because you're getting them at such a significant discount over what the public market is. You have to take a haircut. Plus, you have to agree to hold them. They can't go out in the open market until after March of 2026. So the nut tokens generated from inside the SmartLab subscription system can be traded in the public market after the 15th of March of 2026. It's only fair because as subscribers, we're getting them at such a significant discount over what the price is in the open market. And SmartLab is doing this to protect all of the subscribers. So we're going to unpack all the benefits one at a time. What are the benefits of purchasing a nut subscription? And this, folks, we've got both types. So if you don't want to participate in nut, you don't have to. But I highly encourage you to take a really close look at what I'm about to show you because the potential is significantly greater over the regular subscription. The first obvious benefit is a higher spread trade profit for all nut subscriptions. The second benefit is you're getting the nut tokens at a significant discount, even better than what took place during the pre-sale because of the higher nut subscription income cap. The third benefit is You can take the nut tokens that you earn from your subscriptions, and SmartLab will purchase them back from you at $2 for one. So every $1 in nut token that you earn, SmartLab will give you $2 worth of SmartLab points. So you double your money if you choose to keep the nut internal to the SmartLab ecosystem. You literally double your money. One nut becomes $2. And then the fourth and final benefit is you can enjoy a shareholder type benefit by selling the SmartLab points to new members for packages. So let's say you're building a team and you have 1,000 nut that you've earned in spread trade profits and quarterly bonuses. How do you take those nut and convert them into something that you can utilize to pay your mortgage? Well, you sell the nut back to SmartLab. They receive the 1,000 nut. They send you back 2,000 in SmartLab points. If you're building a team, you can sell those SmartLab points directly to your team, because going forward after April the 8th, all future subscriptions will be required to have 30% in SmartLab points as part of the purchase. So SmartLab is creating a ready-made audience that will literally swallow up these SmartLab points as fast as they come available. So you take your 1,000 nuts, you turn it, they become 2,000 SmartLab points. You can sell those SmartLab points to your team, or you can place them in the open market and they will be utilized on a first come, first served basis. So if you had 2,000 SmartLab points, they'd go into the open market. And as soon as the SmartLab points that were listed in the open market before yours are purchased, yours will be purchased, and you will receive earnings dollar for dollar through the SmartLab ecosystem back into your earnings wallet. So again, folks, it's the same car, it's the same engine. We're just using a higher octane fuel. You're getting your spread trade profits faster, and the spread trade profits and quarterly bonuses that you do receive through the nut subscription, you have the potential to double the value if you choose to keep them inside the SmartLab ecosystem. So we're going to drill down on those four benefits just a little bit more. The higher spread trade profits. As you'll notice on the screen, the standard 7245 normally yields 6% in spread trade profits on a monthly basis. The nut subscriptions have an additional 1% for a total of 7%. The premium 21390 normally had 9% in spread trade profits. If it's a nut subscription, it now has 1% more at 10%. The 61870 professional normally had 10% spread trade profits. If it's a nut subscription, now has an additional 2% for a total of 12%. The elite 196,650 normally had 11% spread trade profits, has 3 additional percent if it's a nut subscription, for a total of 14%. And the ultimate 417,450, which normally yielded a 12% spread trade profit, has an increase of 6% for a total of 18% spread trade profit on a monthly basis. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the first obvious benefit is a higher spread trade profit for all nut subscriptions. Terms and conditions do apply, just like I mentioned earlier. If you withdraw the nut, you have a 30% withdrawal fee, and you have to hold it for a year. There's a vesting period of a year before you can take it into the open market. Nut subscriptions have a higher spread trade profit as compared to normal sports arbitrage subscriptions. As we continue to unpack the value proposition, the second benefit, purchasing nut tokens at a greater discount than during pre-sales through the higher nut subscription income caps. Again, the standard 7245 with 23.5 in income, if you purchase a nut subscription, the spread trade profits and quarterly bonuses that you earn in nut will work out to be 30.8 cents. That's a 69.2% discount over what's available in the public market. So this is buying it even at a significantly reduced rate from the pre-sale. If you remember, the pre-sale was from 80 to 95 cents. If you purchase nut subscriptions internally, you're getting it anywhere from 15.4 cents to 30.8 cents. That is up to an 84.6% discount on acquiring nut. And again, if you decide to hold on to the nut and you withdraw it, you get a 30% withdrawal fee, and you have to hold the nut for a year before you can go into the open market. However, SmartLab will buy back your nut 2 to 1. So every $1 a nut, you get $2 back in SmartLab points. So you can essentially double your money. So when you look at the income cap on a standard 23.5, that becomes 47. The 21,390 becomes 140. The 61,870, you get the picture. You can take your income cap, and essentially it's doubled if you take everything out of nut and then convert it to SmartLab points. So this is a ridiculously awesome, generous promotion, and it's going to get even better. As we continue to unpack, purchasing nut at a greater discount, SmartLab introduced an early bird special. So everything that I showed you on the previous slide, if you purchase before March the 28th, then you can purchase the nut subscription at the old price. So instead of paying $72.45 for a standard, you can get it for $62.10. Instead of paying $21,390, you can get it for $18,630. Instead of $61,870, it's $55,890, et cetera, et cetera. Look what that does to the cost of the nut. The standard drops down to 26.4 cents, a 73.6% discount. And the ultimate at 14.5 cents is 85.5% discount. So as you can see, SmartLab has done it again. They have absolutely one-upped what we had before. This is an incredibly, ridiculously generous value proposition, and it's available to everyone inside the system. It's live as we speak. As we continue to unpack the value proposition, the third benefit is to trade nuts to SmartLab for SmartLab points at $2. SmartLab absolutely will honor every nut token generated inside the system from subscriptions at a 2-to-1 ratio. That means when you put up one nut, they send you $2 in value. So if member A purchased the 61,870, received 12% in nut tokens every month, which is 5,400 nut tokens. If the current nut token price was $2, and as I showed you in the open market, it's over $2 right now, the member would be getting a total of 5,400 nuts every month, times 2, that's 10,800. 10,800 monthly potential or more with a professional 61,870 subscription. It is ridiculously generous. All right. As we continue to unpack this value proposition, the fourth and final benefit, how do we enjoy shareholder-type benefits by selling the SmartLab points to new members for purchasing packages? How do we? Because moving forward after April 8th, all new subscriptions purchased will require 30% in SmartLab points as part of the purchase price. Where are the SmartLab points going to come from? They're going to come from subscribers who have earned nut and cashed them in to double their funds. So after the 15th of March, all packages will be required to use 30%. And right now you can get subscription points. All the packages are purchased like they always have been. But around the 8th of April, which is the target date, the subscription points are going to be replaced with SmartLab points so that members can start taking the nut subscriptions or the nut tokens they've earned and cashing them in to double their value. Active members will be able to utilize the SmartLab point tokens to purchase packages for their groups. Passive subscribers can exchange their nut tokens to SmartLab points in the primary market and sell to other members that want to purchase packages. So again, folks, this is a ridiculously generous opportunity for us. So terms and conditions do apply, but this is how we can literally participate in the shareholder type benefit by being able to utilize Smart Lab points that the company is requiring 30% of for all future sales. It is ridiculously generous. Okay, as we continue to wind things up, we're almost to the end here, folks. I want to kind of drill down on a couple more things. You can join us in the very first phase of the ring token to maximize your profit. So the nut is the first step in the build to the future. You can expedite your returns with a higher spread trade profit. You can purchase nut tokens at a huge discount as compared to the public pre-sale, up to 85.5%. You double your Smart Lab, your spread trade profits with the nut token through the nut subscriptions, and you can earn 30% of company sales by participating in phase one. I'm going to address a couple obvious questions first, and then we'll wrap things up. So the first question is, will members have issues selling off their nut tokens? The simple answer is no, members will never have any issues selling off their nut tokens, because assuming the company has sold all 40 million nut subscriptions with an average of 12% spread trade profit, the nut tokens generated each month, if you take 40 million times 12%, that's 4.8 million in nut tokens. The total dollar value generated from the nut packages, 4.8 million times 2, is 9.6 million. 30% of company sales is required to use those nuts that are converted to Smart Lab points. So if you take 9.6 million, divide it by 30%, you get 32 million. So as soon as 32 million in sales is completed, that's all it's going to take to wipe out the entire 40 million nuts in the current promotion. Last month, the company did 70 million in sales. So all we need is half of the sales of what we had last month, and this promotion is over. And as of a couple hours ago, there was a little over 8 million nut out of the 40 that was already sold. So we have just a little over 30 million left. If you have clients in your pipeline who have been waiting for an absolutely incredible opportunity to get over the edge, this is it. You do not want to pass this up. The next obvious question, with the nut token, will the nut token price crash when Smart Lab releases to the market after a year? They've actually brilliantly designed this to protect that from happening. And that's why there's a 30% withdrawal fee if you want to take it out early. And all the nuts that are required inside the Smart Lab ecosystem have a 1-year vesting period. So they can't go into the open market until after a year. And so by the time we get there, it's anybody's guess where the nut token will be. But the simple answer is it's not going to crash, because over the year, members are actively selling their nuts inside the Smart Lab system because they get $2 in value for every $1 in nut that they put up. So after a year, there may be only a little nut tokens left to be released to the public market, as there are already not enough nut tokens to go around for Smart Lab members as shown previously. This is an incredibly generous value proposition. How do we know that Smart Lab is able to honor the nut tokens at a $2 for one? Because they're utilizing the profits earned from the sports arbitrage system. There's no doubt whatsoever they'll be able to honor $2 for every nut token generated inside this incredibly generous promotion. All right, that was the promotion. All the folks that attended this Cancun event this past week, every time you attend a live event, you get the opportunity to participate in the commitments. The commitments are, you put up $50, you buy a commitment ticket, the $50 goes to charity, and the ticket can be utilized to add value to any subscription. The benefits of the commitment tickets in this current promotion, which runs from the 15th of March to the 14th of April, or 40 million nut. The benefits are when you apply a commitment ticket to the order, you're entitled to an incentive trip in May. That means you get a hotel accommodation entitlement for the public event in May, which is going to be in Panama. So, Panama in May. The second benefit was an opportunity to participate in the Grand Lucky Draw. All the folks that bought commitment tickets in Cancun, what you'll remember when we went out to the island, there were about 50 people that won prizes on the island, and those were from commitment tickets. So the only folks that had the opportunity to win prizes were folks that had commitment tickets. If you were not in Cancun personally, and you did not purchase any commitment tickets personally, you were not able to participate in that drawing. All the commitment tickets that were purchased also have the opportunity to participate in the Grand Lucky Draw, which will take place in Panama in May for the top 5 prizes, which include several cars and cash and extra cap. So it's ridiculously generous. Here's what the commitment ticket value is for folks that were not in attendance in Cancun. If you buy a premium $21,390 subscription, and you can find someone who's got a commitment ticket, that gives you an economy round-trip ticket plus hotel accommodation for Panama in May. If you do a professional $61,870, it's 2 round-trip tickets. An Elite 196 is 1 business or 3 economy tickets, and the Ultimate 417 is 2 business or 6 economy tickets. And if you purchase before the 28th of March, you get the older prices. So the premium would be $18,630, the professional would be $55,890, the elite would be $193,300, and the ultimate would be $393, etc. So you can get back to the person that invited you for any more specific details. Here's what it boils down to, folks. What does it take to create an account? We need 5 pieces of information: an anonymous username, a working valid email, a name, a 10-digit phone number, and a password. That's the only 5 pieces of information that's required to get your account created. The second step is you've got to fund your account. Now, SmartLab accepts USDT Tether only, but there are many different forms of Tether that are out there, and SmartLab accepts the top 3 most popular, which are USDT ERC20, which processes on the Ethereum chain net. If you have a Coinbase account, that's the only version Coinbase has, ERC20. The next version is TRC20, which processes on the Tron chain net. And the third one is BEP20, which processes on the Binance chain net. As a subscriber, every time we deposit and or every time we withdraw, we get to choose which version of USDT Tether we want to work with. If you're new to the crypto space, and this sounds like trying to learn a foreign language, here's an easy way to differentiate between the different versions. Think of ERC20 like Visa. Think of TRC20 like MasterCard. Think of BEP20 like American Express. If you've ever done business with credit cards, you all know whether it's MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover, Diners Club, or any of the other ones, they all process dollars. But you can't process an American Express card on a MasterCard rail or a Visa on an American Express rail. They all run on their own processing rails. Well, Tether's the same way. You can't send ERC20 to a TRC wallet. You can't send TRC20 to an ERC20 wallet. But they have the same value, and as a subscriber, you get to choose every time you make a deposit and every time you make a withdrawal. As we wrap things up, folks, SmartLab is a technology company offering software as a service. It's a SaaS product that utilizes the latest AI bot technology to generate spread trade profits that are earned daily and deposited weekly into subscribers' earnings wallet. 2, the bot picks a win and a lose in every match. However, as a subscriber, we always, 100% of the time, benefit by the increase from the spread, which by design has to be anywhere from 0.4% to upwards of 5%. The highest I've ever personally seen was 5.87. We watched a demonstration in Cancun that was 4.97. It's ridiculously effective. The average on a daily basis is about 3.25, amortized over 35 games. Plus, we have NBA, and we're about to add a new sport. So that's regardless of the outcome of the game. People say, well, Doc, how could you possibly do that? I mean, if you find a way to maximize your benefits in any sportsbook, they're going to ban you. So how does SmartLab do this? Well, they're dealing with two different sportsbooks, and they're leveraging in Sportsbook A for Team A to dominate. They're leveraging in Sportsbook B for Team B to dominate. If and only if, because one side typically is going to lose, the other side typically is going to win, the winning side has to make enough to cover both sides and the profit, or it doesn't lock in the trade in the first place. That's why we call it trades, spread, trade, profits. Number three, there's numerous ways to earn as a subscriber. You can purchase a subscription, receive generous spread trade profits that are earned daily and paid weekly. The second way is you can receive quarterly bonuses every 3 months on all qualifying subscriptions. That's any paid for subscription, standard or above. And the third is to utilize the optional relationship marketing component, which is available to everyone. So withdrawal requests that are submitted by, I tell folks, by Friday night will be in your external receiving wallets the following Thursday afternoon. That completes the regular portion of our broadcast. So I want to encourage everyone to get back to the person that invited you to this broadcast for any specific questions that you have. If you would like to address a question in tonight's broadcast, you're welcome to text your question in the chat box, which I'll look to first. And then we'll have an opportunity for live questions. If you'd like to ask an audible question, you can click the raised hand feature on your Zoom toolbar. If you're on a mobile device, you might have to look to the hamburger menu or the more area until you can see the raised hand feature. But you click the raised hand feature, that lets us know you'd like to ask an audible question or make a comment. We can unmute your mic. So checking the chat. Can you explain what you mean by active versus passive SmartLab members? Yes. A passive SmartLab subscriber is someone who's leveraging their own funds only. They are not sharing it with anyone else. An active subscriber is someone who chooses to maximize their potential and share it with other folks that they know, love, and trust. All right, how long take to got your money back on the package? Well, to make a long story short, the nut subscriptions are significantly better than what we had before. Both are still available. And I had screenshots made up for the last promotion that showed basically what it means for a subscriber. I have not had time to do that with this new one yet. Hopefully by next Tuesday, I'll have that available for the Tuesday broadcast. But it's everything we had before and then some, not counting any free units. So higher spread trade profits means you're going to hit your cap faster. And the fact that you can take the nut and double your money makes it even better. So it is a significantly more valuable value proposition with this new promotion in terms of the time and money equation. Okay, can subscriptions be purchased with SmartLab points only? No. You will have 30% SmartLab points. Right now it's subscription points. You will have a percentage of USDT always. And then you'll have a percentage that you can use of earnings, and it tells you when you go into your account to try to create it. In fact, let's do this real quick if I can, because a picture's worth 1,000 words. All right, so I logged into an account. You'll notice we got the regular subscriptions up here, and we got the nut subscriptions down at the bottom. So let's say I want to buy a premium nut subscription. Right now it's $18,630 because we're in the early bird special. If you wait till March 28th, this is going to become $21,390. Here is the regular cost right here. Here is the early bird special with nuts. So you want to get a premium, 18,630. You click the buy button. You click make a payment. You've got to have 3240 in subscription points, and you've got to have 2430 in USDT. Both of those come out of the USDT wallet. You can use up to 12,960 in earnings if you have it. So this will always tell you exactly what the process is like. So it's very simple to purchase these right now. Just go in your back office and they're available. Okay, let's see. What are the difference between SmartLab points and Earning Wallet points, if any? SmartLab points are going to replace this subscription point wallet after the 8th of April. Why do we need to wait till the 8th of April? Well, obviously, there's got to be enough subscribers that earn nut and then take that nut and turn it in for 2-to-1 benefit to create a pool large enough for SmartLab points to be available so people can purchase subscriptions. And if you go to the home page where you purchase subscription points right now, this subscription point area right here, historically, this has been filled by SmartLab. Going forward, this will be filled by us, by earning nuts, selling them back to SmartLab, converting them to SmartLab points, and putting them in this market. So they're anticipating the target date is going to be April 8th, but this is where you'll go to buy SmartLab points if you don't have them, and you will have to have them to purchase any subscription going forward. Okay. Is SLP a near future replacement for the current subscription point? Yes, it is. I just answered that question. How do you respond to someone who sees a YouTube that says it's a scam? Well, I respond to whether they see somebody on YouTube that says it's a scam or whether they talk to some person that says it's a scam. The first thing you got to do is look at your own experience. Anybody who's had an account for any length of time knows it's not what people claim it is. I have yet to meet, so I'm 13 months into this. I have yet to meet a single subscriber who's not happy. Every subscriber is thrilled because the subscriptions do exactly what they're supposed to do for every single person. So the person that invited you should help be able to neutralize that question about a scam, but it comes down to a conversation. And this is going to sound a little bit wooey. I don't know how else to say it. But usually, if you're attracting a lot of people that feel like it's a scam, it's because there's a part of you that hasn't addressed that yourself. The fastest way I know how to get past that is resolve that issue for yourself, because as soon as you know that it's not a scam, number one, you're going to attract less people that says it is, and number two, you're going to know how to address it with folks that bring that consideration up. It's a very valid consideration for folks that are on the outside looking in. But there's one very relevant thing to understand that helps with that consideration, and that is this. Scams or pyramid schemes, let's say SmartLab's only revenue source was the sale of subscriptions. Going in here and clicking on subscription plan and buying these subscriptions. If this was the only revenue source or even the main revenue source, there would come a day when there would not be enough new subscriptions coming in to cover the liabilities with people at the top. And this is where the conversation comes down to the debate about whether it's a scam or not. The biggest revenue stream that SmartLab has is not the sale of subscriptions. It's the actual spread trade profits themselves. And you can track that by going to the MyBot in your account and the SmartBot in your account, because the MyBot shows you how your specific subscription is performed week to week. And the SmartBot shows you what's in the pipeline for SmartLab. So aside from that, I would say get back to the person that invited you, get with your team leader. It really boils down to how you feel comfortable about your own subscription and how confident you come across when you're talking to others. Is there a date set for the May trip to Panama? Not yet. As soon as I know what the date is, I will publish it in the Wire Group and it'll be on these live broadcasts. Will SmartLab ever get a debit card to make cashing easier? I don't know, April. There's a number of different options that are out there. When I was in Panama, when I was in Cancun, I was introduced to one of the owners of CoinZoom. CoinZoom is based out of Salt Lake City. They do have a debit card available, and I plan on getting some personal experience with that soon. CoinZoom.com, you can go to learn about it. There are numerous crypto debit cards that are available. You can go online and search crypto debit cards and study the ones that are out there. We do have some recommendations, and you can get back to your advisor or team leader for additional information on that subject. Can you transfer SmartLab points to earnings? And if yes, will you take the 30% haircut? The 30% only applies to NUT, not SmartLab points. SmartLab points come after you've converted your NUT into SmartLab points. When you sell SmartLab points, you will be receiving earnings back. And no, there's not a 30% haircut. There's a 5%, the regular withdrawal fee like there always has been. Will there be a withdraw button on the SmartLab point wallet? It's not going to be a withdraw. It's going to be a transfer because you don't want to withdraw SmartLab points. You want to transfer them to someone else who wants to buy a subscription, or you want to transfer them into the open market where they can be converted to earnings that you can get back in earnings. If a person did not buy a NUT subscription but bought a regular subscription with a commitment ticket, would they still qualify for Panama? Yes, they would, as long as it is a premium subscription or above. The 18,630 or the 21,390 are the minimum requirement for an entitlement for a live event. So if for some reason you don't want to double your money, and if for some reason you want to take longer to hit your maximum cap, you could buy one of these regular subscriptions up here. You'd pay more money for it. You'd get less benefit on a daily basis, but you absolutely can. And if you had a commitment ticket, you would qualify for Panama. I'm a passive subscriber. How do I convert SmartLab points into USDT? You will notice around the 8th of April, there's going to be a process introduced where on the home page, this subscription point area right here is going to be replaced with SmartLab points. Some version. I haven't seen the interface. I just know on some level this is going to be how it works. You'll either be able to transfer your SmartLab points to someone in your team in a private way where you can trade it for dollars or carrots or Venmo or PayPal or whatever you want, or you can put it in the open market and anybody in the entire organization can purchase it and you will receive earnings dollar for your SmartLab points. Hypothetically, can someone max out their earnings under a year by having others coming? If we have to repurchase a new subscription, we need to use the NUT at 30%. That would be 1.6 mil free. If we have the high subscription, that would hurt, plus paying taxes, or am I not seeing this right? Chip, you're missing the boat completely. If you buy a NUT subscription, you get higher spread trade profits. So you're earning more on a daily basis and a weekly basis, which means you're going to hit your maximum cap faster. That's one part of the value. The second part of the value is you can exchange your NUT, one NUT, for $2. So you double your money going from NUT into the system, and you're not taking a 30% fee. The only people who are going to be charged the 30% is those who want to withdraw their NUT as NUT and hold them for a year before they can go into the open market. So this is a built-in incentive to help folks have not only the opportunity for a higher spread trade profit, but to double your money. Why would you not want to do that? Okay, if you buy a regular subscription, will you need 30% NUT? And if so, does that mean subscriptions will cost more? Guys, if you look at the screen, most of these questions are answered just by looking at your account. Click on Purchase Subscription Key. Here's the subscriptions. Here's what you pay for the regular price right now. $72.45 for a standard, $21,390 for a premium, $61,870 for a professional, $196,650 for an elite, or $17,450. If you buy a nut, right now it's the early bird special. So instead of paying $72.45, you're only paying $62.10. And you're getting nut, which is a higher percentage that you can double your money on. Instead of paying $21,390, you're paying $18,630. Instead of paying $61,870, you're paying $55,890. Instead of paying $196,650, you're paying $186,300. That's almost a $10,000 savings right there. Instead of paying $417,450, you're paying $393,300. That's over a $20,000 savings right up front, not counting the higher spread trade profits and the opportunity to double your money. So, folks, if you're not absolutely nuts about the nut promotion, by the time I close this call, you don't have a clue what you just saw. So please get back to the person that invited you and ask them to share it a different way. I don't know how to be more simple than what I've been. It's the same car, it's the same engine. We're just putting a higher octane fuel in the tank. It's going to generate more on a daily basis than regular. You're going to hit your cap faster than you would have otherwise, and you have an opportunity to double your money. That is the value of our current promotion. It's ridiculously generous, and you're going to want to get back to the person that invited you and find out how you can get started. If you already have an account, these are available in your back office right now. Okay, please clarify the difference between the public market, the open market, and the primary market. The public market is if you go out to the exchange Bitmart. There's only one exchange to date that you can buy nut on. Bitmart. You can find the app in the App Store and the Google Play Store, and you will find, because I'm going to look at mine right now, nut right now on Bitmart is selling for $2.19, so it's 2.1959. That is the public market. The open market is after April 8th, when you can take your SLPs and you put them right up here so that any person in the entire company that's trying to buy a new subscription can get access to it. And the primary market was the pre-sale and this particular promotion. By buying nut subscriptions, you're getting nut at a significantly discounted rate. That's the primary market. Why do we need to provide a passport information to sign up? You don't. Whoever told you you needed a passport, I just showed you a few minutes ago what you need. You need an anonymous username, you need a working valid email, you need a 10-digit phone number, you need a name, and you need a password. Nowhere in any of that do you need a passport. Again, if you go to, here, let's do this. Again, you need an anonymous username, a working email, a 10-digit phone number, a name, and a password. That's all you need. Would it not be even more profitable to hold your nuts for a year, then sell them to the open market, which sounds like they are more than doubled? Well, there'll be an opportunity for you to participate in that open market later if you want to. Right now, the shortest distance, the fastest, quickest way to benefit is buy a nut subscription, sell your nut back to SmartLab for 2-to-1, do that till the promotion's over, and then you'll have an opportunity to go out in the open market. You would have doubled your money and then some, and you can take your extra profits and go into the open market and buy nut on the public exchange. That's what I would do. There's no reason to earn it and pull it out right now and hold on to it when you can double your money right now instead of having to wait a year. Okay, why wouldn't just buy nut without subscription get 2-for-1 till I can buy max account? I'm not sure, Corey, what you're asking. But the nut subscriptions, again, if you log into your account, you click subscription plan, you can see Here's the regular subscriptions. Here is the promotion. You get a significant savings on the cost of the subscription. You earn a higher spread trade profit rate, which means you're going to hit your cap faster. If you're not nuts about nuts, get back to the person that invited you or your team leader so they can help you see this because, folks, this is a massively, extremely generous, incredibly awesome opportunity. And we're way over time. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Okay. Can I buy nut on Bitmart? I'm saying don't just buy a crap load of nut on Bitmart and then sell it back to SmartLab. You can't buy it on Bitmart and sell it back to SmartLab. There are two different ecosystems. The stuff inside of SmartLab cannot be sold or traded in the open market until after March of 2026. So you can go out to Bitmart and buy as much nut as you want. You can't bring it into SmartLab. It's a different nut. And you can earn as much nut as you want inside of SmartLab. If you want to withdraw it, you'll pay a 30% haircut. Then you'll hold it for a year. Then you can go put it on Bitmart. Why would you do that? Just take advantage of the promotion, the way it's designed. Go out and benefit yourself and the people you know, love, and trust as much as you can, as quickly as you can. And when this promotion's over, there'll be another one right behind it. Folks, this is not complicated. It is ridiculously simple and it is ridiculously lucrative, and it's right here live in black and white. Please get back to the person that invited you, and let's see you. We would love to have you part of the team. Once USDT is in the SmartLab ecosystem, how is nut purchased from SmartLab? You don't buy nut from SmartLab. You earn nut from SmartLab by buying a nut subscription. You buy nut from Bitmart, which is the only exchange that currently has it for sale. So again, folks, let's not make this more complicated than it needs to be. Same car, same engine, higher octane fuel. You're earning your spread trade profits faster, and you have an opportunity to double what you earn by taking your nuts and selling them back to SmartLab until the 40 million is done. This is what I really want to emphasize, folks. There's only 40 million nut in this promotion, and over 8 million of them have already been sold. And it's only been a couple days. So you want to take advantage of this as soon as you possibly can, because when it's gone, it's gone. If the 40 million is sold by the middle of next week, this promotion is over the middle of next week. If for some strange reason nobody buys a thing until the 14th of April, it will be over on the 14th of April. It's 40 million nut or the 14th of April, whichever comes first. Folks, I hope you get it. I've tried really hard to make it simple. This is, without a doubt, every time I think SmartLab can't one-up it, they do. The event in Cancun was off the rail. It was incredible. We saw a drone show that was to die for. The giveaways were fantastic. The food was awesome. They just continually went up. And the next major public event is going to be in Panama in May. There's also an opportunity for very serious, very dedicated builders to be invited to a very special event in London the third week of April. You cannot buy your way to London. You have to be invited. So if you are of interest to participate in the London team building event, get with your team leader, one of the top 10, and find out what can you do to qualify to attend the London event in April. It's limited to 200 people. There are 10 individuals in the top 10 income earners, and each one of those 10 have 20 potential spots available. So it's going to be, once that 200 is filled up, it's filled up. So if you have an interest in really putting nitrous in your tank and turning your SmartLab business into a high-performance machine, Get back to your team leader and find out what it would take for you to be included on their London list. Folks, that's it. I'm sorry it's been such a long broadcast, but I know there's a lot of information. I will publish the recording in my wire group as soon as it has a chance to render. It's going to take probably close to an hour for that to happen. And I'll publish the link in the wire group, and you're welcome to share it. It will be in the wire group. So if you're not in the wire group, get back to the person that invited you and find out how to get in the wire group and make sure you're on the list for the recording. With that, my voice is gone. I love you all. Have an absolutely fantastic evening. Look forward to seeing you Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. We also have 3 live events next week. We have one in St. George, Utah, Wednesday the 26th from 7 to 9 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. We have a guest event in South Jordan, Utah, which is better part of Salt Lake City at 106 South and I-15 at the Holiday Inn. That's 7 to 9 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And a subscriber training Saturday, the 29th of March, from noon to 6. So I'll get back to the person that invited you about information to participate in any of those mentioned. That wraps things up. Good night and God bless, folks. Have an amazing evening and an amazing weekend.